This tomb has been cataloged as minor for 80 years. Nobody's ever cleared the debris from this eastern corridor.
The structural engineers marked it unstable last season. You really want to go in there today?
The ground-penetrating radar showed an anomaly behind this wall. I've waited 3 years for permits, Omar. I'm not waiting any longer.
Perhaps we should wait for more data, Catherine.
Fair enough. Let me at least brace the entrance first. If this collapses, we lose more than an anomaly.
Take your time. I've survived worse than an impatient archaeologist's schedule.
Bracing set. Whenever you're ready, Dr. Reed.
There's a seam here, Omar. This isn't natural rock, this is cut stone, deliberately sealed.
Sealed tombs usually mean something worth protecting, or something somebody wanted forgotten.
Both, historically. Help me clear this final layer, carefully.
Dr. Reed, look at this hieroglyphic band along the seal. This isn't standard funerary text.
No, it's not. This reads more like a warning than a blessing. Let none disturb what the priests have hidden from the living king's eternal rest.
Priests hiding something from the king's own tomb? That's unusual phrasing for this period.
Extremely unusual. Most royal tombs invoke protection by the gods, not accusations against the priesthood.
Should we call in the ministry before going further? This might need more oversight.
We document everything as we go, photograph every stage, but I need to see what's behind this wall before another storm season buries the entrance again.
Understood. I'll keep detailed photographic records at each stage.
The wall's giving way. Omar, hand me the flashlight.
Careful. Wait for the dust to settle before you go further in.
There's a chamber, a small one, separate from the main burial hall. This wasn't part of the original tomb design.
An addition sealed after the main construction? That takes serious resources and secrecy to pull off undetected.
An addition sealed after the main construction? That takes serious resources and secrecy to pull off undetected.
What does it say?
A confession, hidden inside the tomb itself? Why would anyone confess and then hide the confession?
Guilt doesn't always seek justice, Omar. Sometimes it just seeks somewhere to exist without being seen.
There's something else here. A small sarcophagus. Much smaller than the king's.
That's not proportioned for a child. Look at the craftsmanship. This was made for an adult, but hastily, without the ornamentation you'd expect.
A secondary burial, hidden inside a hidden chamber. Whoever this was, someone wanted them erased twice over.
We need Dr. Amara Sese for this. If there are remains, we need proper forensic examination before we disturb anything further.
I'll radio her from base camp. She was already scheduled to visit next week.
Tell her to come immediately. This can't wait for a scheduled visit. Catherine, Omar told me you found a second burial. Walk me through everything before I touch anything. Okay, the anomalies are centered right here on the side of the sarcophagus.
Sealed chamber, separate construction phase, an inscription confessing to an unnamed crime by the High Priest Khenamun, and this smaller sarcophagus.
Khenamun. That name appears in the main burial hall too, doesn't it? Listed as the king's most trusted advisor. Exactly. Which makes this confession even stranger. Why would the king's most trusted need to hide a crime against him? Catherine, Omar, the remains inside are consistent with a male in his 40s, but look at this skull fracture pattern.
That's not from tomb collapse or natural deterioration, is it?
No. This is blunt force trauma, delivered from behind, consistent with a deliberate strike rather than an accident.
So this person was murdered,
then hidden in a secret chamber inside the king's own tomb.
That's my preliminary read, yes. I'll need lab analysis to confirm timing and method precisely.
If this is the king himself, and not a separate individual, that changes everything we've believed about this dynasty's succession.
I can run comparative analysis against the mummy in the main burial chamber. If they don't match in age or physical markers, we may have two different individuals entirely.
Do it! If the body in the main chamber isn't the real king, we may be looking at one of history's oldest documented cover-ups.
Catherine, the results are back. The mummy in the main burial chamber shows signs of being significantly older at time of death than this individual.
So they're different people. The public tomb doesn't hold the real king at all.
Then who's actually buried in the grand sarcophagus everyone's been visiting for a century?
Someone close in build and age, prepared with full royal mummification rites. Someone who could convincingly stand in for the real Pharaoh.
A substitution. Khnaamun didn't just kill the king, he replaced him entirely and buried the truth 2 rooms deep.
Why go through all that instead of simply installing a puppet successor? Why maintain the deception this elaborately?
Because if the succession looked disrupted, rival factions might have challenged Khnaamun's authority immediately. This way, the dynasty appeared unbroken.
It's a remarkably sophisticated cover-up for this era. Whoever engineered this understood political optics as well as any modern strategist.
We need textual analysis on the historical records from this reign's final years. If there's a documented illness or absence, it might align with when the substitution occurred.
I can pull the reign records from the archive database tonight. If there's a gap in public appearances, that's our timeline.
Look for anything mentioning royal seclusion, illness, or extended religious retreat. That's the kind of cover story a conspiracy like this would use.
Catherine, I found it. Year 23 of the reign, the king reportedly entered a 40-day purification retreat.
That's exactly the kind of gap needed to execute a substitution and prepare a body for burial rites.
And conveniently, the king who emerged from that retreat ruled for another decade without any recorded challenges to his authority.
Because it wasn't really him anymore. It was someone else, installed and protected by Khnaamun's network.
We need to present this formally, with complete documentation, to the Ministry of Antiquities before word leaks and distorts the findings. I'll finalize the forensic report by week's end. This deserves rigorous peer review before any public announcement.
Omar, secure this chamber completely. No unauthorized access.
Understood. I'll coordinate with site security tonight.
3,000 years, and Khnaamun's confession finally gets read by someone. He wanted it hidden, but he also carved it in stone.
Maybe some part of him wanted it found eventually, even if he made sure it wouldn't be found soon. Guilt is a strange architect, Amara. It builds hiding places, but rarely destroys the evidence completely.
What happens to this discovery now? Does it change how the entire dynasty is remembered?
It should. History deserves the true story, even when the true story is far darker than the one carved on public monuments.